Hello and welcome, BomberFD here. In this video I'll be doing a quick overview of the Titan. This is still beta, so things can always change before the final product. But starting off, we will jump into the subclass Striker. Not all has changed from Destiny 1. Their grenades include a lightning grenade that sticks to the surface and after a short initial delay strikes 5 times. Next is a pulse grenade that is similar to the previous, but has a smaller AoE and pulses 8 times total. And for last, we have a flashbang grenade, which does do a slight bit of damage on impact, but its main purpose is to provide crowd control and blinding the enemy. Next, which is new to Destiny 2, are the class abilities. The Titan offers a towering barricade for protection that also blinds enemies if they attempt to walk through it. The other is called a rallying barricade, which is a bit smaller but allows you and your team to peek over and instantly reload your weapons when taking cover. As for the jumping abilities, nothing new here from its prequel, so we'll move right into the 2 categories you can spec into. The first one is called Code of the Earthshaker. This includes Seismic Strike, which is pretty much a shoulder charge but adds an arc explosion on impact. Next we have Aftershock. It sounds really cool, but all it does is recharges your grenade energy every time you use Seismic Strike on an enemy. Next is Magnitude, which provides you with an additional grenade and increases the duration of the grenade effects, meaning more lightning from your lightning grenade. Last we have Terminal Velocity. This leaves a damage dealing field after using the Fist of Havoc ground slam. The higher in the air prior to the slam, the more damage the A will do on the ground. Now, on to the next category, which was not available in the beta, the Code of the Juggernaut. First is the Frontal Assault, which reloads your weapon and increases stability after using the melee ability. The cool thing about that is that you don't actually have to kill the enemy with the melee, you just have to punch him in the face. But if you do melee kill the enemy, it will engage the next skill, Reversal, which immediately triggers health regeneration. Next we have Knockout, which is critically wounding an enemy or breaking their shield, increases your melee range and damage. And for the last skill we have Trample. Killing enemies with Fist of Havoc extends its duration. Now to actually see the super in action. When you first activate your super, you begin with a Fist of Havoc that slams the ground, very similar to Destiny 1. Afterwards you turn to an unstoppable Juggernaut, almost like a linebacker. With the R1 and RB buttons, you can shoulder charge through your enemies, and with the R2 and R trigger, you can activate the Fist of Havoc once again. The supers in Destiny 2 seem to last a lot longer, but also a bit weaker. As you can see, I had to shoulder charge this last elite a few times before he finally decides to call it quits. And that's all there is about the Striker. Let's go ahead and move on to the Sentinel. This subclass has an all-new arsenal as far as grenades go. First off, we have the Suppressor Grenade. That prevents enemies from using abilities for a short time. Next, we have the Void Wall Grenade, making a nice line of beautiful purple flames. And lastly, the most deadly, the Magnetic Grenade. It only attaches to your enemy, but it also blows up twice. As far as the class abilities and the variety of jumps, there's nothing new here from the Striker class. So we'll move on to the skills you can spec into. The top category is called the Code of Protector, and in that we will start with a Defensive Strike. Killing any enemy with a melee ability will give you and nearby allies an overshield. Not only that, but with Rallying Force, you and your allies will also restore health with every melee kill you get. Next we have Turn the Tide, which extends your overshield for Defensive Strike, and it also increases melee damage and reload speed. They all seem to have a lot of synergy as long as you take use of punching enemies in the face. Lastly, we have the Ward of Dawn, which is not new to you at all from Destiny 1. By holding the buttons to engage the super, it will pass the normal Sentinel shield and create a large barrier instead. Now onto the skills we were unable to spec into the beta. The bottom group is called the Code of Aggressor. Starting with Shield Bash, I'm assuming is identical to the Shoulder Charge, but this time it offers some crowd control by disorienting enemies on contact. Next we have Superior Arsenal. Grenade kills recharge your grenade energy. Then we have In the Trenches. Kills while surrounded by enemies reduce the cooldown of your super. This is definitely something I'm looking forward to after seeing how long the current supers take to charge in the current beta. Lastly, we have Second Shield. Gain additional shield to throw while your super is active. These are used very similar to how grenades cooldowns are. But enough of the skills, here's some actual gameplay of the Sentinel. The really cool thing about the Sentinel is that you can still block incoming damage using the R2 or right trigger button. This is just like using the Relic in Destiny 1. Not only does this prevent damage, but it also creates orbs of light. To throw the shield is just the same as throwing a grenade with R1 or RB. If the shield hits an enemy, it will then bounce to another enemy within proximity like so. Very Captain American-like even. As far as the combos go, you can tell that there's about 3 moves. Further ways to attack, you have the R1 and RB button. You have a 3 combo attack finishing off with the Shield Bash. And that pretty much wraps it up on the Sentinel subclass. Hopefully you enjoy diving in and reviewing all that is the Titan currently from the beta. The class not only offers a ton of utility, but I really did enjoy playing every aspect of it. If you guys did enjoy the video, please do thumbs up as it does help me out a lot. And if you are new here and would like more Destiny 2 content, please do subscribe as well. And guys, before I go, do know that you are all loved.